What is going on? You are listening to episode 214 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2. Eric, what's up, my friend?
What's going on? And what is up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Nightcrawler, player 3. What's happening, man?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. It's going well. Guys, that music you just heard is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. And if this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, don't forget that. If you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to n64josh.com/audible. That takes you directly to my book, Another Castle, right on Audible. Go and check it out, n64josh.com/audible. The chair I'm sitting in from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat to automatically save $10 at checkout. And if you'd like to get my book, whether it be on Kindle or in as a paperback, go to n64josh.com/another castle. With that, we're going to jump on over to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
All right, this is the last week to use coupon code E3 2019. Pick up a t-shirt or two in my store, n64josh.com/store. Save 10% by using coupon code E3 2019. Guys, the Mario project is still going on. If you were interested in that, make sure to check out n64josh.com/the Mario project. I also want to announce my Super Mario Maker podcast is now wherever podcasts are found. iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, I think is the other one. So there you go. You can check it out. It's also on YouTube as well. You want to see my streaming schedule? n64josh.com/calendar. Come and join our Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group, and the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. I do want to let you guys know that next week is E3. I will be there. I'm excited. And I'm going to try to podcast, but I'm going to let you know now the majority of the content is probably going to be found on n64josh.com and YouTube. So based on the tools I will have with me and whatnot, those are probably going to be the two main sources of content. I will still put out podcasts, of course, but I would say make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and you're checking the site regularly. Everything will get posted on the subreddit, n64josh.com/r, and that's that. So I just want to make sure you guys are connected. I am going to do my absolute very best to make you feel like you are there. I'm going to record as much as I can. I'm going to get as many interviews as I can. I'm going to just work my face off, honestly. So I'm hoping that we all get the most out of it. That's the goal anyway. So with that, I think because we have a lot of talking points being an E3 show, we're gonna just jump right to the news. So I don't have it in the notes here, but we have to recognize the people that got invited to the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational. The Dragon Feeny, amazing Twitch streamer. Guys, if you're not familiar with her, go check her out. She's crazy good at Mario Maker, super positive. I was so stoked when I saw her name get announced. I'm Abdullah. I'm a little bit familiar with. I've seen some of his content on YouTube. I believe the other gal, I don't have in front of me. I think it was the Killer Bee, I think was her name. And what's kind of crazy is we raided Dragon Feeny one night on Twitch, and then she immediately raided Killer Bee, and I actually sat and chatted with them for a while, her and her partner, and really cool people. And I don't know anything about the fourth person that was selected, but really excited to see what all this invitational entails. And we can camp here for a second. Like, Eric, what are you expecting from this?
Oh, gameplay that I'll never ever be able to compete with or even hope to accidentally accomplish. Everything I've seen from them, just any of these like semi-pro or pro Mario Maker streamers, it's just crazy to watch. Super fun to watch.
Crawler, what about you, man?
I think it'll be hopefully a good display of kind of on par with like the Nintendo World Championships a little bit, but just singularly focused on Mario Maker. So they came up with creative ways to showcase Smash last year with the invitational that they had with the pros and some of the celebrities that they had. So hopefully they come up with some interesting things. I know one of the biggest things that Dragon Feeney does, and like Cliffy and some of those other Mario Maker streamers, is the 100 Ways to Die. So maybe Nintendo keeps their ear to the ground, but they never tend to react a lot to let us know that they're keeping their ear close to the ground. So hopefully maybe they'll surprise us with something that they've been watching happen with that game. Because how old is that game now? Was that 2014?
I think it was 15.
15.
I believe. So
yeah, it's been going for a while. So they've got a pretty well established kind of group that they.
Chat
Josh
right
is
now.
being broken.
Right now. Alka-Seltzer-Tini, so many gifted subs. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think one of the things worth noting is that like the last time they did the Nintendo World Championships, they had Super Mario Brothers Deluxe as one of the game modes. I don't know if you guys remember this, but that's when you could if you hit a block, it would change the blocks for player 2. Right? And then they've essentially added this to Mario Maker now, which I think is great because it's going to be so many possibilities. What I'm curious about is, are we going to see the 4-player, like, are they going to be going head to head? Is the whole thing going to be like that? Are they going to be playing co-op? Are they going to be on separate switches, just racing through levels without having to deal with each other? Like, I'm kind of curious on how Nintendo is going to play this out, and I'm going to be a little bit sad if they showcase them all playing together and we get to see how incredibly fun it looks. And then we can't do it online. Like it is going to be a little bit of a bummer. Like,
but if they show that, they're not doing it online either. You just have to get 4 top tier world champion Mario Maker players in the same room.
But yeah, as soon as you started talking about it, Josh, I think we're going to see solo races all on the same course, like at the same time. We're going to see, there's cooperative, right? Like I guess there's 4-person cooperative.
There's co-op and versus essentially.
And then there's versus. I think we're going to like we talked about, like they're going to showcase all of what the game has to bring to the table, and we'll see them probably do all of that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So, and just a heads up, guys, I don't leave for E3 until the 9th. So that means I will be home. We will be hosting that and watching it together right here. If you're watching live, twitch.tv/N64Josh. So if you want to tune in and not have to deal with the craziness of Nintendo's actual chat, come hang out. We'll be here. We'll be watching it. I'll probably be doing a little bit of a little bit of commentating. Not much though. I try to just watch, and I don't take up a lot of the screen like with my camera or anything. It's just like we're watching their feed. So
is that Saturday at like 1 or 2?
It's Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, but double check that. Again, I don't have it right in front of me right now. So the next thing, this is going to lead us right into our talking points, which is going to be our E3 2019 predictions. And that is GameStop has 21 SKUs for the Switch, ranging from prices of $39.99 to $199.99. And my initial thought was hardware, but it turns out from the person that tweeted this out, they said this is all games. So, I think it's RGT85 is one of the YouTubers I was watching talk about this, and his thought was that Call of Duty may be the game that's getting a big special edition at that price point. I don't know.
I saw an interesting, I don't remember what YouTube, I just had YouTube kind of playing this afternoon, but one of the speculations I saw was Sword and Shield packaged together with some extras, like some special edition with both games together. Who knows? But Call of Duty for 200, like that price point has been hit by Halo and Call of Duty and Fallout, and all those big AAA titles tend to. Borderlands 3 is coming out with something that's going to be $200 this year, so that's not outlandish to think that would be a game and a collector's edition.
Well, and possibly a Pro Controller, right? I mean,
yeah, because the Smash bundle was what, $125?
I think
Something
so,
like that.
but I had Gamer Club back then, so it was like it ended up coming out under $100, I think. So that's what I don't remember exactly. But
I don't need another Pro Controller.
Well, you don't have to get it.
But it's going to be camouflaged, and it's going to say Modern Warfare on it. Potentially, guys. Of course, we're just discussing, like we're speculating leaks and rumors. That's it. So, but 21 games. This, from my understanding, does not include any of the games that you could already currently pre-order, right? So Animal Crossing is not included in this 21. Pokemon.
Because announced games have been on Best Buy and GameStop for a while. They just have placeholders with date to be determined with 12/31/19 as its release date.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So very, very interesting. There's a lot of speculation about the $39.99 being the Spyro trilogy.
Activision needs to wake up. That they need to do that.
It'd be good. So, okay, we're gonna get into our E3 predictions, and we're trying to make this a little unique. That's the goal here. We don't want to just have your run-of-the-mill E3 show. So hopefully we can deliver.
Here we go!
All right, so right off the bat, we're going to do the boring question. Eric, I'm going to let you start us off.
Oh, good.
What
Thank you.
games are you sure that we will see at E3?
Oh, we're going to see Animal Crossing. We're going to see Luigi's Mansion. We're going to see more Pokemon.
You sure about that one?
Pokemon?
I mean, how much do you actually think we're? Because last year we didn't.
They showed Smash until nobody wanted to buy it anymore.
Yeah, but like it was like 2 minutes of Let's Go though, because they had talked about it the week previous, and they're doing that not tomorrow, Wednesday.
Right.
So
no, you're right, but I Pokemon's too big for them not to show. I think they're gonna showcase something, and maybe it's gonna be at the Treehouse, and not at the.
They're gonna do play. Yeah. They're gonna do playthroughs.
And I guess that's kind of the question. Are we just talking about their E3 Direct, or are we talking about the entire week with the Treehouses?
All of it, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we'll see Pokemon. We'll see.
I'm assuming you're going to see hands-on with Pokemon, possibly. Mm-hmm. Hands-on with Mario Maker seems like an absolute, no-brainer.
Yep.
Hands-on with Animal Crossing, I don't know. Maybe there's a demo build. It's only.
I definitely think that's the booth. So I think we're going to see some stuff.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing that. Probably hands-on with that.
I mean, we're going to see more Mario Maker because last year, Aces was the game that was coming out like 3 weeks after E3, and they showcased some of that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the time that we probably. I think they still have some surprises for Mario Maker, and I think they're going to. Again, they're probably going to tell us too much, right? Like there'll be no surprises, but at the same time, some of the stuff is like. Oh, I guess if I know that for sure, I'm buying it. You know what I mean? For some people, it could be and who knows? Maybe they'll come out and say, "Hey,
we're upgrading all your pre-orders to give you the stylus."
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm on a mission right now to make my Mario Paint mouse work on my Switch for creating levels. That's my new.
Maybe with the 8-bit do attachment.
I was looking.
Can we digress a little bit and talk about that? Josh did something and 64 Josh wouldn't have normally done.
Finally.
Okay.
Can you give us 3-minute rundown of it so the fans can listen?
Okay, so here's what I've done. I didn't dip my toe in the water. Okay.
He fell into the deep.
I jumped all the way in because I want to be able to play expert levels on Mario Maker, right? And right now in the current state of the D-pad on the Pro Controller, there's going to be misinputs that get you killed. And when there's no checkpoint and you've got to go all the way back after completing stuff, it's going to be super frustrating, especially if it's not your fault. So if you're just listening, I'm holding up right now the SN30 8-bit dough, right? Dough, like Nintendo, 8-bit dough, 8-bit do.
I assume dough. I don't know.
They need to. We need to get them on this show. That's what I'd like to do. Okay, this controller is essentially a Super Nintendo controller. I have a review on YouTube if you want to go hear me talk about it. I really like it. The interesting thing, the D-pad doubles as the stick on the Pro controller, not the D-pad. So certain games, like I mentioned in the review, like Blood Hockey, where you can only use the stick to control, you actually use the D-pad in that game. So
just for the SN30 model, that works that way.
Correct.
Anything that has a joystick still functions as a joystick.
Right. So then the other thing I got today, that came yesterday. I got the G-Bros today. This allows me to hook up GameCube controllers. Heads down in chat says, I bought unofficial Nintendo products. What is the temperature in hell right now?
Frozen over.
Hayden and I have been working on this for a long time.
So this G-Bros attachment, what it does is it turns any controller that you could plug into the Wii remote or the GameCube into a wireless controller that hooks up to your Switch. Okay, so I've been testing the D-pad on the Wii Pro controller, the SNES Classic, the NES Classic. I mean, it's
the Wii Classic works as well.
Yeah, the Wii Classic. I have those in boxes. I got to dig them out to try them. But so I'm on the quest to find every possible controller that you can use for Mario Maker, and hopefully you're gonna find something that we'll all find something we really like. I will say the G-Bros with the SNES Classic controller so far is my favorite. The SN30 feels good, and it's nice that you don't have any wires, anything like that. Don't get me wrong, but having that real Super Nintendo controller, I liked it. They also sell mods. And I was going through stuff today and found extra Super Nintendo controllers, so I am going to do one of the mods that you take out the board and it turns it into a wireless controller for your Switch. I believe it's your Switch. I got to double check that.
It is. It can work on a Raspberry Pi. It should be everything that the regular SN30 does.
Cool. So then on Wednesday, I have, what is it, the SN30 Pro? Is that what it is?
Yeah, with the sticks.
So that has, and I got the older model that has the dark purple and the light purple buttons, so it looks like a classic Super Nintendo controller. That also has like gyro and rumble, and so you could play anything with that, right? Like Fortnite, that kind of stuff if you wanted to.
Yep.
That one also has where you can capture and go to the home screen on the controller.
I think that might be a deciding factor for you, just enjoying the comforts of everything that's on the Pro controller on that SN30 Pro.
It could be. The other thing with the G-Bros is that it has both those functions also. You can do screenshots, video, and
home.
And the home. So really nice feature as well. I also have the it plugs in USB. It's like a wireless adapter that allows you to then play with PS4, Xbox One, Wii U Pro controller. So people that have been playing Mario Maker with the Wii U Pro controller for the longest time, you could still be using that if you wanted to. I'm also going to do the mod on my Pro controller just to see how easy it is, and I'm kind of being a crash test dummy here, but I want people to enjoy this, and if you guys are following along with me, like on the Super Mario Maker podcast, and learning how to do some of these crazy Kaizo moves and these different jumps and whatever, you're gonna want the precision D-pad. Like, it's gonna be a necessity. I was talking to Cliffy in his chat. He's a Mario Maker streamer. Go check him out. He is modding two of his Joy-Cons. He's turning them ice blue, and on the left he's putting a D-pad on his ice blue Joy-Con. That's what he's planning on doing. So,
I saw him playing the other day. I think does he play on the gamepad right now?
A lot of people do.
That's insane.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, I used to play Mario Kart and stuff with the gamepad just because that was just more convenient. It was like everything's right
there.
here, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, there's going to be, stay tuned to my YouTube channel, guys. There is going to be lots of videos about all these controllers for the Wii, for the best D-pad for Mario Maker. Heads down is saying is modding. Let me clarify what modding means. I'm opening up the controller and placing Scotch tape on the D-pad sensors so you don't get misinputs. That's what I mean by modding. I'm only trying to improve the D-pad. That's it. So, and from my understanding, it's as simple as a screwdriver and some Scotch tape. So we'll see. I'll have it all documented and ready to go for you guys. Don't you worry. All before Mario Maker 2 comes out. So, all right, back to our predictions. Any games that we missed that you're sure we're going to see, Crawler? Anything that we didn't hit?
We haven't seen a ton from Astral Chain. I think that has a date, right? Isn't it August 30th or something like that?
I believe so. That sounds right.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that, because I was looking at it late last week, and I think I saw a trailer that I hadn't seen before. Maybe it was the one that was on the direct, but it seemed like it was a little bit different. And so I'm hoping we'll see some more gameplay and maybe some in-depth discussion of what the story and game kind of involves. That one I'm sure of, and then I think we're going to get a rundown. So Astral Chain has a date. Animal Crossing does not. Luigi's Mansion does not. Pokemon does not. I think we're going to hear a date for Pokemon before we go into E3. Link's Awakening does not. So I think those games that we don't have dates for, we're going to get laid out. And I think my predictions are Animal Crossing is going to be September, Luigi's Mansion October, Pokemon is kind of historically always November, and then maybe Link's Awakening in December is our kind of Christmas game.
February.
I sure hope not. I hope it's sooner.
Didn't they say this year? In that announcement?
I feel like it said 2019.
Yeah,
I
think all it said was 2019. I hope that's not a Christmas game either. I hope it's sooner, because it's not a super deep game.
I feel like that game could easily be released within the week. Let's say The Witcher is coming out, right? That's what's rumored. Let's say that hits on a Tuesday. I think that same Friday, Link's Awakening could come out. Because I'm not certain that Link's Awakening will be $59.99. I could be wrong, but
it could also be Link's. Well, it's listed right now a lot of places as $60, but it could also be a good supplemental to Animal Crossing. When you get your stuff done, 2 weeks later, Link's Awakening comes out, and that can be your kind of your go back and forth. You get your stuff done in Animal Crossing, and then you can go play Link's Awakening.
Have you ever played Animal Crossing? You don't get stuff done.
You said I've been listening to your podcast. You eventually get done. You said, right?
It becomes dailies after 3 years. You're like, okay, I have dailies now. Before that,
I'm excited. I'm excited to try Animal Crossing. I have New Leaf, and I've played a little bit of it, but to actually dive in, and it's been so long for me with a Pokemon game. I played Let's Go and I enjoyed it, but that was going back to Red and Blue for me, Red, Blue, and Yellow. So to get a new Pokemon that I'm actually ready to try to sink my teeth into, we'll see how long I hold on.
Speaking of Pokemon, I have to mention this. My wife found Soul Silver and Pearl at a yard sale with a DS, Mario Party on the 3DS. I'm sorry, a 3DS, Mario Party 3DS, and Pokemon Adventure or something, Adventure Extreme, I don't know. Plus Soul Silver and Pearl for $20.
I need to hit more garage sales.
I did not realize the pot of gold she had found until I posted in Discord, and everybody went crazy.
So what's silver worth?
I've seen anywhere between most places is around $60. I think GameStop sells it for $60.
A $40 DS game going for $60. Wow.
Yeah. So bonkers there, but okay. So this is kind of one of our fun questions. Eric, I want you to kick this off. What is your most unlikely prediction? What is your prediction that's the most unlikely to happen
Unannounced Zelda. I think we're going to get some sort of big Zelda news this year. That's my most unlikely prediction. I could go all day on this because I've been thinking Rockstar is going to give us Grand Theft Auto for a long time. I've said it 600 times, but I actually think that's likely. So I think we see some sort of secret Zelda announcement, whether it's just a simple clip of Link for Breath of the Wild 2 or something like that. But I think they're turning around a new major Zelda as quickly as they can. That's what I believe.
Here's a quick question. If with Monolith Soft in the mix with Zelda now, if they did a true RPG with Zelda, would you be on board with that? Don't forget me.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, they'd have to do a better job of the. You think you could take me? Don't forget me. I don't want to listen to that for 6 hours, but yeah, I think a Zelda RPG would be killer. I think that's something that should have been tapped into many years ago.
Well, if they took like the Ubisoft approach and took like an action adventure game like Assassin's Creed and turned it into a light RPG elemental game, like it has elements of RPG more so with like skill trees and leveling up certain stuff. So I mean, if they can take a franchise like that's been established for that long and then turn it into something RPG-esque, I think that could be a welcome kind of change for Zelda.
I'm of the mind I want to see a full-on party system. Like I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, things like that. Like I want to see Link.
You want Linkle and
I just want to party. I want champions alongside fighting, doing different moves. Like let's really okay, Monolith Soft. Here's Zelda. Here's whoever you want from Zelda. Do your thing with it. Right.
So full on prequel Breath of the Wild, get the champions and everything going.
Yeah, or maybe it spans timelines. Maybe you end up in the Skyward Sword stuff and end up in Ocarina. I'm just
the timelines
Zelda. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
It's Zelda. They reset after every series, right? So
no, there's three branches, but
for now, but they'll just make a new one. They can.
It's not clear where Breath of the Wild actually falls yet. So.
Right. Yeah, it's the new branch. Who knows?
It's just a remake of the first game. That's what it boils down to. So. Okay. Crawler, did you give your most unlikely prediction?
Yeah, what are your guys' unlikely predictions?
So I mean, we were talking about this a little bit beforehand. I don't know if they would waste time in a direct to do it, or it could maybe be its own direct later on in the year, but a UI update I think would be welcome.
That's your most unlikely prediction? I agree with you. That is unlikely.
I'm going unlikely. I mean, that's what I want. I would like to see a UI update, but
we won't. So it's your unlikely prediction. Yeah, that makes sense.
So voice chat and messaging friends through.
Yeah. Well, hey, we might know some stuff going into Tuesday. We might know some stuff as early as Sunday. I mean, you never know. Who's going to walk out on stage at the Xbox presser?
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
It's true.
You're right about that.
That's true.
And they did say that they're not going to announce a new Switch at E3, right? They talked about no hardware.
They use that specific language that there would be no new hardware at E3.
So weeks leading in, weeks after, I wouldn't be shocked if we hear something about a new Switch XL and
lead up time. You want to announce a new hardware system a month before it's live. You don't want to sabotage your own sales.
Right.
What's Josh's most unlikely?
I mean, I kind of wasn't joking when I said being able to message friends and easily do voice chat. The other most unlikely prediction would be a larger friends list. Would be.
I think that with a UI update, I think that's hopefully would be included with that. But also, if the Xbox, whatever came of the Game Developers Conference, chat, like the breakdown that they had there. Did anything come out of that got reported on?
Not for the
'Cause
Switch.
I know there was a whatever it was called, like a seminar that was titled Xbox Live and the architecture of Switch or something like that. But I don't know if anyone, like IGN goes to that kind of stuff and other outlets, and they get to sit in on those panels. I don't know if anybody reported on anything coming out of that.
The only thing I remember them saying was that there was nothing to announce this time for the Switch. That was the main thing I remember hearing. So,
but Call of Duty's bridging worlds right now with the announcement of Modern Warfare having crossplay across PC. I think it's across PC, Xbox, and PlayStation right now.
Hey, everybody seems to be playing nice. Sony wants Microsoft to help with their streaming of
the cloud service.
Yeah, the cloud, and supposedly Nintendo. The rumor is that Nintendo's even talking to Microsoft about that, right? So
they need it.
Well, I mean, with the cloud, literally at that point, everybody always says, "Oh, I want everything on the Switch." Yeah, we could probably have everything on the Switch, but you're not gonna own anything anymore.
Yeah,
you're gonna rent
and
it.
Google servers went down on, what was that, Sunday or Saturday, and stuff didn't work quite well. So you don't want to rely too heavily on servers.
Exactly. All right, Crawler, what will be out now?
What's it called? What's the Respawn game?
Respawn.
Why am I'm having the Battle Royale from Respawn?
Oh,
Apex.
Apex.
yeah, Apex Legends. Ooh. Really?
I mean, I've heard rumors about it, but I've heard that they've gotten it running on tablets. But I don't know. How big would that be though? Because Fortnite was last year. Because last year had two. Because I rewatched last year's this afternoon. Last year had two. It was Fortnite out now, and it was Hollow Knight out now. But I think because it's got to be digital only. So yeah,
free would be a plus. Free to play.
Yeah, free gets the downloads. That reinvigorates people with Apex, and maybe Apex. Right now, Apex lives in separate architectures in PS4, Xbox, and PC. So maybe Apex can put out, like, I think they're getting ready for season 2. If they can push something out and have, like, Rocket League was able to do it after the fact. I think kind of Fortnite was. I got kind of late into Fortnite, so I don't know how early on they had their architecture set up, that it was the Epic ID or whatever that linked everything together. But if Rocket League can do it and span you across different things and have crossplay with all that, then maybe Epic with season, or Respawn with season 2 of Apex Legends can maybe introduce something into the Switch and get people talking about that game again and get downloads. I think it would be a massive download though, so who knows. But Fortnite anymore takes up a decent chunk on the Switch.
It does.
Apex Legends would be killer. That'd be an awesome addition to the Switch.
I would be all about it.
Yep.
What about you, Mr. Eric?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the safe bet. I was thinking Crawler was going to steal it, but Cadence of Hyrule is the obvious what will be out now. That's it still hasn't been announced. Obviously, we don't know that for sure, but I feel like that's a pretty no-brainer that's going to be the out now title.
Well, and there was the data mine last week as well.
Yeah. Well, the data mine showed it as the 20th, right?
So I heard discussions on it this week. Like, a lot of times, if it's supposedly end of quarter 2 was 2 days ago or 3 days ago. If you're coming out supposedly in that quarter, the back end information on, because I think it was on I don't even think it was on the eShop. I think it was back end information on the website eShop that they had that date holder in there. So it's just kind of You have
Well,
to
it's
have
also-
you have to have it within the quarter that you're saying it's going to come out, but you can put a date like up for front facing to be like to be determined. So
Well, they said it was coming out spring, and that's also the last official day of spring, right? So
well, June 19th is official last day of spring.
I thought the 21st was the first day of
or
summer.
20th it is. So yeah, so June, yeah. But there was also
So what happens to the 20th? Is it spring or is it summer or is it neither?
floats sometimes.
Nobody knows. It's nothing. It's nothing. You
This
go
doesn't
from
work for me.
19th
I have to
21st.
know.
But there was something in Japan only or whatever. They were talking about indies, and all that got put up on the screen for Cadence of Hyrule was 6/19. So it is coming out in June of 19. They just they weren't specifying. So that vagueness this close, we're in the month now, tells me that it would be a guarantee for. It's a digital only title. It's a Nintendo like Essence property now. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, that game looks so awesome. You know, just the remixed Zelda music makes it a buy for me. I don't care what price point it comes out. I'm buying it day one.
Yeah, the gameplay doesn't really jump out to me a whole lot, but the music is what is going to draw me in, I think, the most on that game.
So I'm gonna go with some easy ones as well, but who knows? Maybe Shovel Knight finally finally gets its the last DLC is finally out now on the Switch.
Okay.
With the full probably details on the full retail package plus the amiibo that are I've had pre-ordered for like 2 years. So, that's something. So that seems like one that could be an out now. And then,
I got another one for you as well. I think.
Yeah, go for it.
I think we have Fighters 2 and 3 showcased, and Fighter 2 is out. Like Joker was announced like one day and then it was out the next. I think we kind of get information, and either I don't think it's like that day, but I think it's like by the end of the week, like Thursday or Friday, we get Fighter 2 for Smash DLC. And I'm hoping it's Banjo. And I hope we hear about it on Sunday.
That'd be interesting to see, like, could you imagine the Microsoft press conference and all of a sudden you hear like Mario's signature sounds from Smash, like kind of his grunts and kicks or whatever, and then all of a sudden
Chief.
like Master Chief walks out onto the thing and sticks him with a nade. Like, I would literally lose it. Like, if a sticky grenade gets tossed in Smash, I'm all in. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like
or Xbox takes the opportunity during their thing to announce a new Banjo game, and then they use Smash as promo material for it.
Could be.
Yeah, that could work too.
Release Banjo on both consoles.
Battletoads is coming out soon, so maybe we'll get a Battletoad.
I saw the best meme today. I could not believe it. It said Battletoads movie gets stuck on the speeder bike level.
Nobody can get through there. Nobody.
I was dying. I was like, "Oh, it's so good. It's so good." So, okay. Well, this kind of takes us right in. Unless you have any other out nows, Eric, you got anything else for out nows?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, that's it.
So, which third party, Eric, you start, will have the best Switch announcement?
Man, I'm torn between realistic predictions or bold predictions. You know what? I'm gonna go bold. Madden's coming to Switch this year.
Yes, please.
That's my. I think EA's ignored and tested the waters with games long enough. I think Madden's coming to Switch this year. I mean, the other one I'd really like to see would be Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, I think EA's coming in big with Madden. That's my big one.
Crawler, what about you?
We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. Activision finally wakes up because they only have 2 games out on Switch right now, Diablo and Crash, and they finally put Spyro out.
Oh.
And maybe they finally bring some more. I don't even know what all Activision owns anymore, but Activision has not participated in this grand experiment that is Switch, and it has proven itself. I think by this point, we're what year 2.5? Are we?
We're into year 2. I mean, we're into year we're starting
into year 3. Yeah. So it's time to jump in. And Spyro is a slam dunk. That's no problem. I've held off on getting it on Xbox or PlayStation because I didn't have a PlayStation growing up, so I didn't really play Crash Bandicoot or Spyro, and I've heard better things about Spyro than Crash, and I have the Crash games, but I want Spyro, so that's what I really hope.
Well, speaking of Activision,
I think that's a good one.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, that would be huge, right?
So here's the question: would it be full blown, or is it going to be somehow neutered?
Just look. I am content for a $30 version of Modern Warfare, the 360 version. That game was good enough. The controls were tight. It was fun. They could
good gunplay.
Great gunplay. The time to kill is totally Call of Duty. It's boots on the ground. I mean, for me, that was Call of Duty at its best. You know, World at War was good as well, but Modern Warfare really. Really, you guys didn't like calling in dogs and stuff? That
was that one had zombies, right?
It did have zombies, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one was alright.
Yeah,
it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite Call of Duty by any means.
And see, I only played the multiplayer of it. So, but Modern Warfare played all the way through. That campaign was great for some people to experience that possibly for the first time, like that. It would be a great, and to have that level of shooter on the Switch, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take anything away from Fortnite or Paladins or Doom, things like that. But they aren't quite at that level that Call of Duty is.
Listen here, Fortnite fans. I'm gonna break your hearts here. The game has the worst gunplay of any shooter I've ever played. Sorry. Go ahead and at me. My name is @Destinaut. Go ahead and at me. The gunplay is terrible in Fortnite. Like it's so imprecise. Like it's it's
over the shoulder, third person.
Yeah.
The only thing that's maybe on point is the sniping, but that's.
You'll never know the frustration of being killed by a noob tube until you play Modern Warfare. Right, yeah, grenade launchers.
And that's the most exciting thing about this game is that it is boots on the ground, and it's not going to have the exosuits and the wall. Hopefully, it doesn't have wall running and all that kind of jazz. I love Titanfall. I love Titanfall. So the wall running was kind of okay, but it didn't feel right in Call of Duty.
I literally feel like we are just 3 old dudes. Like, get off my lawn with that parkour. Just put your boots on the ground.
Made my Fortnite comment, we pretty much killed half of our younger audience.
Game over. I don't want to run on no walls. I just want to shoot things.
Yeah. Just change the name to the Old Man Powercast.
So right. So for me, Call of Duty would be amazing, but literally the best third-party Switch announcement for me would be Halo. If somehow there was Halo brought onto the Switch, whether it was the Halo 1 anniversary that was brought out on the 360 and just included online multiplayer, I'd be ecstatic. If somehow, through the power of more compression than is probably humanly possible, they could get the Master Chief Collection onto the Switch, bring it.
How disappointed are you going to be when it's just Halo Wars?
If it's still...
Halo Wars is pretty taxing.
No, it's a good game.
I don't know if it could handle it, but
it was a good game and all that too. But I mean, that's not what Josh wants. Let's be honest.
No, I want that 3 rounds to the head with a pistol, man. Like that. I miss it some days, and so. I see such a massive opportunity for Xbox. It really seems like they want to be in the business of software, right? Subscription services, things like that. Like they're putting Halo on PC. They're still moving the original Halo games because that's those, again, the glory days. I don't know that there hasn't been any shooter that's ever that's been any better, or and maybe it's nostalgia because I just had so much fun. I mean, look, there is nothing like getting with a group of guys and it's 8-on-8, you're in Blood Gulch playing Capture the Flag, and you are driving a Warthog and your buddy's on the back of the gunner and your sniper's at your base, and as the sniper lines up the shot, you drive the Warthog in front and he snipes your guy off the back of the Warthog, and he screams at the top of his lungs because he's so angry that he just got team killed. And it was all by chance, right? It was all by chance. It's some of the best stuff. Now, of course, you're gonna need Discord. You're gonna need some kind of voice chat, but like,
well, not if the UI gets updated. You never know.
Possibly. Possibly.
Did you guys do LAN parties back in the day with Halo 1?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
That was where it was at.
Carrying multiple TVs, like, and we're talking CRTs. We're not talking these
big, heavy,
these little monitors that we use now.
And the Xbox was heavy itself too, so you're carrying a lot of stuff. Like
your car kind of leaned to one side.
With your Duke controller, so you're like, here's my controller.
I still have my day one Xbox One, and that thing's heavy. The S and the X are lighter now, but the Xbox One day one is heavy.
So yeah, I mean, either Halo 1, Halo 2, if they just did one of those two or both of those for Switch, honestly, I would be any Halo game. It doesn't matter to me which one, any of them.
Yep.
So I have one more that I really want. I know we probably won't get it, but Rainbow Six Siege, they've talked about wanting it to be a 10-year game.
Mm-hmm. Another great game.
I would love to get that on Switch. Obviously, that game's not possible without voice chat. So they gotta figure that out, whether they do it through the app like Fortnite's done, but I don't care. I want it on Switch. That would probably be the only game I play for quite some time.
Yeah, and I think, again, Ubisoft needs to embrace what Fortnite has done as well and get the cross progression, whatever magic they need to run, because I have a PC that's capable of doing it now. I would almost maybe pull the trigger on getting it on PC if I could bring my level 80 character progression over from Xbox. I would do it, but it just merge all those accounts, bring it to Switch, give people their option. I mean, Mortal Kombat runs not perfect, but it runs pretty well. Like, having people double dip on games like that when you bring it to Switch. So they'll play it competitively and for the beauty of it on PlayStation, but then they can take it with them if they're traveling to a tournament or something like that. They can have it on their handheld. So same thing goes for anything else. Bring it to Switch, even if it's a little dumbed down, because if you do it well enough, if you talk to Panic Button, or Panic Button just needs to clone themselves, I guess, but like, talk to the right port house and do a good port, and you can get people to double dip.
Yeah.
But I'll say, Phil Spencer, you'll get my $10 a month for Game Pass if you bring it to Switch, because I haven't pulled the trigger yet on Xbox. But
how have you not? It's the best deal in gaming.
I don't turn on my Xbox.
Well, that makes it less of a deal for you.
Yeah.
So lastly on this, if Halo isn't announced, at very least, if they were to say Perfect Dark is out now on your Switch again, and look, they've got Rare. Rare obviously has ties to Nintendo. They go back all the way to the NES. Like, there's definitely history there, and I wouldn't be as excited to see those other games from Rare because I just don't have the nostalgia for them. Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, that kind of stuff. I mean, man, if they even have said, "Hey, GoldenEye's coming out on Xbox One and Switch," like the original HD remaster, like,
have you seen what that guy's doing in Unreal Engine? He's like recreating it level by level. Like, there's a guy that is making GoldenEye into an HD remake, and it's him just doing it.
Wow.
Eventually, hopefully, but. Are both Perfect Dark games on Replay? It's been so long since I booted up Rare Replay.
They are, yeah.
I mean, Rare Replay would be quite. I mean, even the disc on Xbox isn't even. There isn't anything on there. It's just a software key. because you have to download everything.
Right.
But I know people
Get that sweet UI though.
yeah, with the retro TV and everything. Well, I mean, I think I wasn't super into it, but I'm sure some people would be excited to see Viva Pinata.
Unfortunately, that's the thing I'd play most from it. Like, for whatever reason, that game, I love just wasting hours in that stupid game.
But I mean, I think Rare Replay would be, like, if it's not Master Chief Collection, Halo 1, anything, Rare Replay I think is the easiest for them because of the roots that they have of being on, because Blast Corps is on there, I think. I don't know if Pilot Wings was. It was Pilot Wings was Nintendo, right? It wasn't Rare, but Blast Corps was, I think. So, I mean, there's some classic 64 and even a little bit older games that just deserve to be back on a Nintendo system.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Okay. Nightcrawler. Will we see more new game announcements or more DLC announcements this year at E3?
I don't know if they're going to have time for DLC announcements because they're going to talk about so many games that are coming out, like, that we already know about, and I think the shock factor comes with new games. So I think we're going to see maybe some like future games that we aren't. Maybe one game for this year, and if that game is going to be anything, it's going to be Metroid Prime, hopefully trilogy. But I think we'll maybe see more games. I would like to see some DLC, namely Mario Kart. I know you and I are both excited for Mario Kart DLC. Maybe they could tie that in with, I don't know if they would waste time in a direct talking about Mario Kart Tour, but I think that could also be an out now kind of thing as well, because the beta almost over, or it is ending here soon. So they could button everything up with that and have a rollout, because that's a digital thing as well. But I don't know. They could tie something in with Mario Kart Tour if they wanted to for DLC or a new game announcement. But I think we're going to see more new games than DLC.
Eric, you're shaking your head yes.
Yeah, I agree. And Heads Down in the chat says more ports. I do think we see not nearly as many ports as we have before, but I think we see a Pikmin potentially at least 3. A Pikmin collection's been rumored. I wouldn't honestly be surprised by that. So I think we see by far more games than we do DLC.
So the reason for this question is because I lean the other way. I think we're going to see Nintendo double down on their existing titles and push DLC for them. Super Mario Party is the big hope, right? That there's a free update that adds online multiplayer, maybe another stage, and then a DLC pack that adds more boards, more mini games, just more of what really makes that game shine. What's crazy is I recently ran into somebody that was like, we couldn't stop playing that game. It was so fun. And yes, it is, but it needs online for those of us that don't necessarily have somebody to play that game with locally. Like, it just needs online. I'm going to take a Saturday night and spend an hour playing it, right? Or I'll set a timer on the game. Like, there's ways they can program this, right? So that's a game that desperately needs some love. And it's sold so well. We talked about it recently. It's sold like 6 million copies already. I think we talked about it last week, right?
Let us save our progress on a board and come back to it.
We got cloud save now, right? If you pay for online. So, And so I feel like we've seen so many games already from Nintendo themselves that, like, I'm of the mind that this E3 is going to be less about first party and more about third party. And part of the reason is like, I wrote this in the article today, like, Nintendo has been just juggernauting games into the Switch, right? Like, I mean, the first year was absolutely no joke. They were like, hey, the Wii U had no software. Here's software for you. Zelda, Mario Kart, Splatoon, ARMS, like Xenoblade. What? Like, we're talking like they're going to just hit every genre. And then year 2, they don't slow down. Year 3, we're still seeing stuff and great stuff. Yoshi was great this year so far. Smash being the end of last year was great. Like, they've got great titles. You've also got and so I think you've got companies like EA, Activision. You still have Ubisoft. Who knows what Bethesda's doing? Doom Eternal, right? Like, we already know so many of the games that are coming out this year. Where is the room for more games? Right? That's the one thing that I'm kind of like, I'm scratching my head about, which is why I lean towards the fact that there could be more DLC. There could be Mario Kart, like Crawler mentioned, Super Mario Party, Odyssey, right?
Odyssey needs proper DLC.
Yeah.
Something would be great.
More kingdoms, something, or a Luigi U Odyssey, something.
Give us Mario 64 as an Odyssey, like in Odyssey as like an HD remake. Let us use Cappy. It'll kind of mix things up a little bit, or take Cappy away, whatever. Like, say, here's Mario 64 as DLC, the entire game.
Yeah.
For Odyssey.
Well, you already jump into the paintings in the basement of the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever at the end of the game to go replay the boss battles if you want to. So they're homaging 64 with like the jumping into the paint. So do it, give it to us, make the camera better.
Yes. So, but not only DLC though, because I mean I have DLC here, and maybe I should have rephrased the question a little bit. But I think the eShop is coming back. I don't think that SNES games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online. I think it's only going to be Nintendo or the NES. I don't necessarily like that. That's just kind of what my gut feeling is, and that they're gonna open the eShop up and say, here's SNES games you can buy for $6.99, $7.99. Hopefully, if you've purchased them on the Wii U and the 3DS, you can get them discounted. You know, that was nice in the past when they would do that. Hopefully, that could happen again. That happened if you bought it on the Wii. If you got it on the Wii U, you could get the game for $1. I thought that was great. It was nice having them in the other library. But then we can see Mario Kart 64, things like that. Now, do they do online to these things? Maybe.
They should.
Maybe. I mean, I think they should. But that in and of itself, all of a sudden, is like, that's even more games now. Now, I know they're just like $5 here, $10 there, whatever. But I mean, you're talking about you're talking about so many games, and especially like if like Madden was announced, that would end up being an August title. That's when that would come out, because that's when Madden always comes out. You know, I believe Call of Duty would be falling. I mean, I think a lot of times
October, November somewhere.
You're usually seeing a line of people in line for Call of Duty and Pokemon with GameStop, right? I remember seeing stuff like that where it's like, and I don't know, I'm exaggerating, but
so I'll counterpoint you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So the retention on Nintendo Online is what? It's 1 in every 4 Switch owners does it. Say that again. Nintendo Online retention is 1 in every 4, something like that, right?
It's a quarter of the user base.
Yeah, quarter of the user base. So $20 a year. They kind of, instead of giving it to anybody that has an online connection to have the eShop, they tie it to Nintendo Online, and they bring those juggernaut SNES games, and they roll out a plan that says you get this year. They have to bring more features with it, because it's not going to be enough just in and of itself. But how much money would you save, but Nintendo make in the long run if you sign up for Nintendo Online, and then they get to increase the price when they give you SNES for a year, but to keep it going, and they maybe will eventually bring some 64 stuff here. They could go for a while with SNES though if they wanted to, because I feel like the library is deeper, and they eventually can bring you 64 games and start charging a little bit more, but they have to bring the features as well. But that would get people into the door more so than just the NES games.
If they came out and said, you can buy a SNES game for, I think they're like $6.99, $7.99 on like the 3DS or the Wii U, okay? But if you have Nintendo Switch Online, they're $3.99 or $2.99, $4.99. they're already selling this game to me for like the 19th time, right? And I'm not the only one. There's a number of us that are in that boat. I want to see these games I want to play Link to the Past. I want to play Super Metroid, and I want to have. I'm at the point that's like I love my 2DS. You can see it behind me there, right? Like I played it this weekend, but I'm at the point that I'm like I'm ready for everything to be on the Switch. Like I'm ready. I think a lot of us are, and I think they would move subscriptions if it's like, hey, you get a discount. You're on top of the free NES game. You now get 50% off of 2 Super Nintendo games each month, or whatever, or all of them. Like all of them are discounted because you've signed up for this, right?
But who cancels their subscription after they get the game?
If they've signed up for the month, they've already gotten like $7 from them for that. Plus, Nintendo doesn't really lose anything at that point. Not to mention just because it's digital goods that it's just sitting, right? So, like, and even if they cancel, they would get to keep it in my mind, right? If you're gonna pay, I can understand the Nintendo Switch Online thing and the NES games because that's just that's part of the service. But that's how you keep making money, is that you keep it on the online infrastructure world, and that's you are a capitalist.
I just want something that I'm already paying for. That's I don't want to have to buy it again.
See, I don't want to lose it. That's where I'm at. Like I don't want to see it go. Have you canceled your Xbox Live in 15 years? No, but I can't re-download anything if my Wii crashes and it's gone. That's all gone forever now. Right?
That's true.
And so that's
when the Switch inevitably dies, hopefully they would just say this software doesn't need its every 7-day check-in stuff anymore.
And for $49.99 you can have all that stuff you want. So I don't know. Eric, where are you at on this?
Man, I'd love to see SNES games. I don't see them adding it to online. I'm kind of like you, Josh. I think they're going to charge us for it because they can, and people will buy it again. Yeah, I don't know. No matter what they do, they're going to anger people at this point because they waited so long to do anything. They're going to anger people, and it's unfortunate, but I don't know the best way for them to move forward. Obviously, the only thing that's going to make everyone universally happy is if they give the games away, which they're not going to do. So they're going to anger somebody no matter what.
But one of the things they could do is give us games that it's a Wii U port and a 3DS port, but the NES Remix 1 and 2. Those are perfect titles for Nintendo Switch Online. They're kind of like that bite size, just pick up and play. There's leaderboards. They're incredibly fun because they're so unique. And again, I don't think it's a title that sold that many units on the 3DS, and it's the Wii U, so we know it didn't sell that many units. But like 2 years in a row, my uncle and I played all the way through that game trying to, because you would get like you could gold star it, or then you could like platinum or rainbow star it, I think was the highest one you could get, and we just wouldn't stop until we did that. And you're talking about like, playing Excite Bike on the ice, right? Like things like that. Like they totally mixed it up, and it was incredibly fun. And I think that's some of the kind of thing that Nintendo Switch Online needs. It needs to be more than just like, look, for us three sitting here, and especially me being just even a few years older than you guys, the NES games are a value because I've played Mario 3 twice in the last 2 days on my Switch. I'm glad it's there, right? I enjoy it. I just like the fact that it's there. For some people, they're like, I don't care about these older games. It's going to be that kind of that wherever your era started with Nintendo is where you're going to be excited about whatever they offer. So whether it's like, hey, you can buy Mario Kart, but hey, on Nintendo Switch Online, Super Mario Kart is a 8-player multiplayer game that you only play online versus people, like Tetris was, right? Something like that. Maybe you could do time trials. I don't know. Like, they could get creative with this stuff to where it's like, I have the original game and now I have a multiplayer version of it too. That's like that they gave us just for being part of Nintendo Switch Online. And I think there's going to be a push for Nintendo Switch Online this E3, and I think it's going to come in the form of more games being offered to us, like Tetris 99. You know, we might find out there's probably going to be out now NES games, and they may be some doozies, or they could team up with some indie developers and be like, hey, put your game on here for free, right? We'll pay you to put your game on here for free.
That's the biggest thing with them. If they start selling their own classic games, this has been the argument for 2.5, 3 years now or whatever, going into the eShop, is it cannibalizes. People don't buy new games. We would have Celeste, and we would have some of those things that rise to the top, but some of those other indie developers would just drown behind. What would the top 30 look like on the eShop? It wouldn't be anything that wasn't Nintendo.
I think that would be the case right off the bat if they flood the market with these things. But if they just do a slow, like, just drip feed these games to us, like, here's an out now, Link to the Past and Super Mario World, and then in July you're getting 2 more. I feel like they have in a way, like, they have prepared the consumer for these things that, like, no, we're all stoked about indie games on the Switch now, to where it's like, it wasn't like in the Wii U days or the Wii days where it was like, oh, I don't care about any of that other junk. If it's not an NES game, I don't care about it. I mean, that's literally my attitude, whereas like now it's like, oh man, what is going to be the next Celeste? What is going to be? I mean, come on, Cuphead. I don't like. Look, I love Super Mario World. But Cuphead's still an amazing title. Like, they have proved that indie titles are worth picking up. If you're a Switch owner, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not checking out the eShop and looking at some of the wonderful titles that are there. And I think after 3 years, we know what we can expect. And at this point, having classic games from Nintendo would just kind of add to the that value. And again, drip feed them. Don't drop everything at once, because I think if they're like, oh, and here's 30 SNES games, like, literally that takes over the eShop, and no indie dev is going to be seen for a little while.
So we need like a 10-minute block in Treehouse then for them to show off the new UI of the eShop then. Because there's no way.
Is this your other unlikely prediction? Are we going back to this?
Well, I mean, it's short of just like the Switch's own UI, the eShop needs a complete overhaul, like completely, especially if they're gonna introduce their own games, because then, first off, can you find anything that you don't know the exact name of? I mean, you can't. So they need to have better categories, better searches, just more stuff in there at our disposal to be able to go find things and have it curated and categorized a little bit more.
Yeah. And why not do the Netflix approach where, they look at the games you've purchased and give you some recommended games that are, like games like, Celeste, games like Hollow Knight. They can start listing out games that are similar to games you've purchased. But we're not there.
Well, what's funny is they had recommended games on the 3DS eShop, but they were literally just games that they recommend. They were not tied to
Nintendo recommends this.
Yeah, not recommended for you. Just we recommend this to everybody on Earth.
Exactly. So, okay. Well, I'm excited. You guys ready for E3?
Yeah. I'm off work that day, ready to watch it all day long.
Nice, cool. I do want to get to a handful of the comments from the site here. We'll kind of rapid fire these things because there's 14 of them, so we'll just briefly touch on them. There's going to be some things that we didn't even mention that are talked about here. So this is from 8-Bit. It says Metroid Prime Trilogy. I can't wait to hear more about Nintendo and Microsoft partnership. Nothing to go off of, but I'd love for Nintendo to take on Microsoft's achievement system.
Cuphead has their achievements in there, so just start unlocking them. Give me points.
I have a sickness. This is from Delmonic. Says Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Smash DLC, Luigi's Mansion, and Bayo 3 are pretty much all guarantees at this point. As for hopes, I hope that we see Metroid Prime Trilogy, Pikmin 3 / Collection, SNES games, Virtual Console of some kind, and a Zelda Collection port of Wii U games. Hoping that the much rumored Star Fox Grand Prix is real and revealed as well. Don't get your hopes up. As a new collaboration with Ubisoft, Microsoft, or Mario plus Rabbids 2 possible. Or a new IP entirely using Nintendo properties. I'm sure whatever they reveal will catch everyone by surprise. Yeah, so far nothing's leaked like Mario plus Rabbids did, so that'd be good.
Yeah, and that would be something we'd hear about on Monday afternoon at Ubisoft.
I believe.
Isn't that when their conference is?
I believe so. Okay, this is Anytizer. Says, I'm hoping to hear some news on the Spyro trilogy, a new Mario Kart game. Yes, please. 2D Mario and Luigi's Mansion. Maybe Nintendo will tease a new version of the Switch at the end of the conference. Okay, this is Joe. Joe makes me sad with his comment. I just want to throw that out there, Joe. I do appreciate you commenting, but this comment kind of hurts my heart a little bit. So 2 Smash DLC characters announced, one released today, the other no date. The guy from Dragon Quest from the leaks, and Banjo-Kazooie. Joe says Animal Crossing delayed to 2020. That's not okay, Joe. That's not okay. There will be riots in my household if Animal Crossing is delayed, so I'm just throwing that out there. Let's see. We get a subtitle name for Metroid Prime 4 to make up for it being delayed. Witcher 3 Switch port, The Legend of Zelda, Cadence of Hyrule, and Link's Awakening remake both get release dates. This is from Plumber. Any guesses on what Plumber's going to talk about? You both get one guess. Eric, you get to go first.
I don't know what's Plumber into these days.
Oh, the same thing he's always into. So if you don't know, it's okay. I know Crawler will get it.
Yeah, go ahead, Crawler.
It's something to do with party crashes, right?
No, ARMS.
They have party crashes.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
The unfortunate thing is, I don't think they do anything with ARMS ever again.
Oh,
and it's unfortunate, but I don't think they do.
Oh, well, his guess. So Crawler gets party crash. Okay, I get what you're saying. His development of ARMS 2 announced would be his wish list. And then it says, speaking of reality, ... like to see some gameplay or more specific dates for Bayo 3, Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, the Marvel game, and Mario 3D World announced. So there you go. Yeah, more party crashes.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance has a date, doesn't it? July 18th.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah, I believe so. So, Frosted Hex says, I really hope they announce some new DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Mostly new tracks for Mario Kart, but I would love to see some new characters from the Mario series in Smash, namely Toad and some of Bowser's gang. All right. This is from James. Says, my only prediction is I'm going to be watching and maybe some SNES online game news coming in maybe September. Hopefully a big Mario Party update and DLC. This is from Cryptic. It says, my E3 prediction are as follows. Mario Kart Tour will be a shadow dropped as an out now later today to avoid outrage like the Diablo Immortal situation. They will say, but wait, we have more, and we will see the official trailer for Mario Kart 9 with a release window of 2020. Oh. Also, I think we will get a new Mario Sports title for spring 2020. Do not know which sports title. I am hoping for golf.
Strikers.
Yeah, strikers would be good too. I'm hoping for golf since it's been 5 years since the 3DS release, but maybe to coincide with the World Cup next year, we get a new strikers game. So there you go. That'd be cool as well. It's from Lego Lawyer says, 2 Smash DLC fighters announced. Super Mario 2 DLC for Mario Maker 2. Birdo announced for Smash at the same time. Animal Crossing will reveal unpopular microtransactions.
Are they just trolling you?
I feel like they are. Like, I'm like Anchorman, just reading this stuff before I actually read it here. Like, I'm just reading it out loud. New Tetris 99 modes announced. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. It's from Captain Grizz. It says DLC will be a major player for E3 for sure. There will definitely be the revealing of the next Smash character, and I'm sure some new modes or crazy new changes and additions. I'm expecting some new Mario sports games to make an appearance, while I definitely wouldn't say no to Mario Kart 9, as it is still one of my most played Switch games. Heck yes, late night, Friday night team, fist bump. I could see them not wanting to put out a new one yet, with 8 still topping the charts every month. I could see them putting out a new Sluggers or Strikers game, or maybe a different new sports title. Super Mario Curling, anyone? Maybe some Luigi Water Polo? Oh boy. That definitely trolling me now. This is from Nick. Says Nintendo's entire E3 booth will be themed around Animal Crossing. That will be the main game showcase in the Direct. During the Direct, they will announce that Dragon Quest character is available now in Smash for those who bought the pass. At the end of the Direct, they will have a surprise announcement of the next character, which will be out of left field, most likely Microsoft IP choice. Let's see. This is basically confirmed, as Doug Bowser and I are... and I share a interest. Okay. Well, good to know. That's good. This is from Nimbo Sox. Says, my fingers are crossed to the point of breaking for Metroid Prime trilogy. I don't think they will talk Pokemon. However, I do predict they will show off new Animal Crossing, the next DLC for Smash, maybe a new IP, and definitely more on Link's Awakening remake. Hopefully, they will blow us away since PlayStation won't be there. Either way, have a great visit, Josh. Kid in the candy store. That's all I can picture. Yeah, absolutely. This is from Buddha. Says, I think that 2 Smash Ultimate DLC fighters will be announced at E3. This seems to be a popular opinion, which it's more than likely going to be the case. The first will be Master Chief. Yeah, baby. Please, Sakurai, I'm begging you here. Alongside the Halo Switch port that Josh mentioned in the pod over the last few weeks. Have I talked about this much? I don't know. I guess I have. As for the second, I'm pretty split between releasing either a Fire Emblem 3 Houses character or a final Evo for one of the starter Pokemon from Sword and Shield. Just please, whatever you do, give us Spartan 117. I like Buddha here. I like that. This is, and that's it. That's all 14 of them. We did it. I would have just kept reading, just right on down. So there we go. That Super Nintendo. Here he is. He's saying Overwatch Switch this fall. Apex Legends out now on the eShop. No new Joy-Con announced. Mario Maker 2 and other play type. The other style is Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, I could see that being announced.
I could see all of those things he said. I mean, realistically.
Yeah. Overwatch would mean Activision woke up and they want to make money.
Yeah.
More money than they already make.
Todd Walker from chat says Mario Golf Ultimate. Everyone's here. I'm down. Sign me up. He says Nintendo announces macro transactions like microtransactions, but bigger. I just can't believe I read that out loud. And then he says new Smash character, Nintendogs. So there you go.
Can't happen.
He also has.
Can't happen. It's already a assist trophy.
Well, so is Little Mac. So you never know.
Yeah.
Let him dream. Waluigi for Smash.
Yeah.
Zelda plus Rabbids is another one from Tadawaka. So, all right, Eric. Any closing thoughts here for E3? Anything that you need to touch on or you forgot? Anything?
Yeah. Everything we predicted, everything we guessed, everything we hoped for is all great. If you're listening to this, please don't be disappointed by E3. Nintendo can't possibly fulfill all of our wildest dreams. No one can, right? So let's go in with an open mind and have a good show and have some fun. We're all talking about things we love, video games. So don't flame Nintendo if X game you want isn't coming. Just take it easy, deep breaths, it'll be okay.
Everyone will be all right. Crawler, any closing comments here?
I like hearing about all the predictions for the sports games. I kind of forgot about those, but with how much they've been pumping out free characters for aces, I would love to see sluggers, strikers, golf, anything. Let's do something, because that's another just surprise title that they could. Mario Party was a complete and it's out in 2 months or whatever, so they could have something just under their hat that they're ready to spring on us. But we have, from what we're anticipating, I think we're going to have the rest of the year for sure spelled out for us. And it's kind of to double down on what Hate says. Remember, Nintendo doesn't show all their cards. This isn't the end all be all like it usually is for Sony and Xbox. We get directs probably within a month or two. So
right,
temper your expectations. This is their biggest and longest that they put out. We get 15 minutes of Pokemon this week, and then another 35 or so minutes next week, and then we get more the rest of the year. So there's more to come.
Regardless of whatever games get announced, anything like that, probably my biggest hope is that that we just love the presentation, the E3 presentation that happens. But then even more so 2 years ago when they showcased, and you can see behind me there, Metroid Prime or Metroid 2 Samus Returns. And that was not in the direct or in the E3 presentation. It was a Treehouse thing. And last year, I think a lot of us hoped that the Treehouse would have something like that, and they never really did. I feel like the coolest thing that came out of the Treehouse was when they had, I believe it was Don James show up, and he talked about working the warehouse back when the Donkey Kong days. That was probably the best thing. And so I really hope we see some surprises like that. But that's gonna do it for this one. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. All right. So, Hate, where can we find you?
You'll find me on Discord. Please come join the Discord. There's a ton of good people to play games with. It's the only way you can play games with people, Twitter, whatever. It's all at Hate0, Xbox. You'll find me somewhere. I do want to throw out there, Destinot, come back. I need your opinion on stuff. Come back. Hit me up.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
Carla, where can we find you, bud?
You guys can find me hanging out in the Discord, like Hate said. Also on Twitter or Twitch at Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawlers without the E.
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the places. It's at N64Josh. Guys, I am really doing a push on YouTube, trying to get more content there. Like I said, E3, I'm going to really be putting a lot of content on YouTube as well. I love the platform, and it's a lot of fun doing videos, so make sure to check that out. The show notes for this episode can be found at n64josh.com/NPC214. You can email the show npc@n64josh.com. If you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to n64josh.com/audible. That will take you to my book, Another Castle. Because sometimes your princess is in another castle, and it's okay. It's okay. All right. n64josh.com/audible. You can also head over to OP Seat if you want to get yourself a gaming chair. n64josh.com/OP Seat automatically saves you $10 at checkout. I do have a Patreon if you want to help support the content there and get yourself an extra podcast each month. Patreon.com/n64josh. And the store right now, I got the E3 2019 coupon code, saves you 10%. You can go to n64josh.com/store. And you can check out all of the different options available. There's so much merch, so go check it out. Like these guys said, coming out in the Discord, n64josh.com/discord. We also have the Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. Guys, it's we're right on the cusp. E3 is about to happen. There's so much Nintendo goodness right around the corner. Where I'm hoping the next time we get to chat, I will have played Mario Maker 2. That's what I'm really hoping. Maybe Animal Crossing. Who knows? I'm really excited to go. And I just want to thank all of you guys too, not only for listening, but like everything that you've done, like supporting me, Patreon, Twitch, watching videos, going to the site, everything like that. That has all helped me get to E3. All of it, from the downloads to the revenue, everything. It's really all you guys. So thank you so very much. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye now.